Have you ever had that experience where you need to grow your business and you don't know how? In terms of where do you find leads? And so you do have a few leads, but do you know that there's possibilities that a lot of amazing leads can just fall through the cracks and you didn't even know about that? Today, I have somebody with amazing experience that's going to take us on a journey of where to be, 007s of a different kind, to grow your business, grow your club, grow yourself, because you might need to, if you're a consultant, and even if you're working for somebody else, you need to know how to market yourself and where the bumps and the leaks might be, that you can close those gaps. So please, today, I want to welcome current Division Z Director, Liza Zindonga, that has done amazingly with dialing parties and follow-up and growing her division. Liza, welcome here today. Liza, I want you to take us on a journey and tell us, what is it that we could be doing wrong, where we could miss out on amazing opportunities because we just weren't aware of it? Let's start off with those leads generations and those gaps. Share with us your secrets that we may grow. Liza.
Yes, Granny B, good evening. Hi, how are you? It's amazing. It's been an amazing journey as Division Z Director, and I've learned quite a lot, especially skills that I'm applying to my business. So what I've taken note of in my journey as Area Director, as Division Director, I've noted that clubs or businesses get leads from either, if they're meeting in person, their guest book, assuming the club is a guest book. I would love to assume all our clubs have a guest book where our guests put their information for us to follow up later. Or if we're meeting online, I'm assuming that all our meetings are registered. People register to us to get the access to the meeting so that we capture that information. In the event that the person fails to connect for some reason, we've got their intention to connect, so we can still follow up and invite them to more meetings. We have leads that come to us from Toastmasters International. I don't know whether you get them, Granny B. I get them at the club that I sponsored, and my email is there, and I get those leads for that particular club. We also have leads that come from leads generation efforts from our PR team. Those are all ways of getting leads. And our social media platforms, Facebook being the main one that I use, and most of our clubs here in Division Z use, we get leads from there. People ask questions, people want to join because they see our activities from there. So those are the areas where you can get leads from. I don't know if your club and your news, I just mentioned 4, there could be more. There could be just, word of mouth when members bring in people, and we need to take note of those people that visit our clubs so that we're able to follow them up. They've registered interest in our club, interest in Toastmasters, so we should find ways to continue to give them information so that we help them get started on their journey. I don't know whether I've left out anything else, Granny B, but I feel those few avenues are where we can get our leads.
That's so true. And I have recently discovered a new one. Within Namibia, I landed on a WhatsApp group because I wanted some information, and somebody gave me the link to a WhatsApp group. And then all of a sudden, I discovered that within Namibia, there are all these huge different WhatsApp groups. And they are for plants, they are for buying secondhand clothes, for property, for cars, you name it, there's a WhatsApp group. And there's one for links, just links. And you know what I did? I created a Namibian Toastmasters WhatsApp group, and I'm putting those links inside there where they have this WhatsApp group for links. And people are landing on that page, and then I ask them, which town are you from? And that way I can just send them to the different clubs where they need to go to. So that's a new discovery I made, and I'm reaching them. So I would encourage people to find out if there are any groups, WhatsApp groups in your country or in your area, to join them. And there's often somebody that's like a centralized person that handles these different WhatsApp groups. And you can find out, where do you find your country or your area specific links? That might be an extra one. And then I just want to say, regarding the information you gave, one of the important things that we do is, even when we have an in-person meeting, we ask people, when we put our adverts out, we ask them, reserve your free seat at our next meeting, and we have a Google form. And then just click on it, and there's just bare minimum details that's there. The reason for that is it's now electronically available. You don't have to type it from the register. Yes, keep that register. That's critical. But you know what? We have, for any adverts we send, we have at least 30 people register, and probably 10 of those 30 only pitch up. So again, you get to reap more people's details that you can invite, that you can put on your database to invite. And for that reason, we always tell clubs to have a Gmail account, so that all these emails can be incorporated onto your Gmail account, that you can divide them in the groups, that when you have certain meetings that you can invite them to, and other meetings you might not invite them to, so that you can select which groups to do that with. And absolutely, when it comes to Facebook, as you say, go and have a look where you need to respond. But 2 additional things I do on Facebook. I create a leads form where you click on the adverts I send, it says, for more information, or I can't remember what it says, but there's a little button. And I set up the questionnaire that asks them, from which town are you? Are you a Toastmaster, yes or no? Very simple information. And that way, I also find a whole lot of people that click that don't necessarily pitch up, but you can follow up on those. And then the last thing on the Facebook is, often when we boost our posts, and I mean, I know you're in Zimbabwe, but I boost for as little as 200 Rand a month, not a month, 200 Rand a post. But I started 7 days before the club is having its meeting. I find for that small amount of 200 Rand, I get huge traction. And a lot of people click to like the post. And then what do? I go back and I click invite, 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 so that they like the group. And then when we post, we're already speaking to them. And that's how I've grown our club's Facebook page to have a couple of thousand people that are there over the period of time. Now, what's your next step of secrets to success? Tell us.
Great tips there, Granny B. Great tips for Facebook applications, and even those links are excellent tips. So what I found that our clubs are not doing, as I said earlier, they're not using their social media platforms. Some have these Facebook pages, but nobody has posted anything for ages. Nobody has been there to check who's liked my post. Nobody does anything. So number one, our PR or whatever team that we come up with in our clubs should regularly check our social media platforms, because we have those people asking, and then they go on for a year with nobody giving them information. So we lose those leads along the way because we don't attend to them. We also see that most of our clubs, so I'm talking in terms of the clubs that I've assessed, they have no idea what their club email address is and who is manning it. No idea at all. I see for the emails that I man, I see over 10 leads coming from Toastmasters International in a month. And those leads are just falling into space because nobody knows where the email is. Nobody knows what's happening. So it's critical that we check our club email addresses and know who is manning it. If it's not working anymore, I'm sure we can change. There's an easy way of doing it. If we need Granny B to give us an education on how to change our club email addresses on the website, we'll ask Granny B to do that because it is critical. Those leads are falling away, Granny B. People are asking about our club and nobody follows them through. And another thing is, I've noticed that clubs don't do flyers in time. You mentioned that a week before your event, you've got your flyer out and you're boosting the flyer so that you get that traction that you need. But I see clubs posting flyers the day before the meeting or even on the day of the meeting. So how do you expect guests to attend? How do I know and plan for that event and know that it's happening? So we actually need to encourage our VPPRs or as our exco team to agree that soon after our meeting today, we start sending out the flyer for the next meeting. So we've got 2 weeks to invite guests and let people know about our event. I think those are some of the things that I feel clubs are not doing. And even as members, we are not inviting guests. As part of the Toastmasters promise, we've promised that we're going to share this amazing journey with others and invite them to our clubs. But that bit is not happening. We need to remind each member of the promise that they made when they joined Toastmasters.
And if I can interrupt you there, I want to, I know we talk about the Toastmasters promise and that we should invite them, but I want to handle it from a different perspective here. I want to say, why not look at this? Because I don't know about you, but I want to use a strong word. I hated sales. I couldn't handle it because I had such negative, painful experience with salespeople until I wanted to become club growth director. And I realized that's sales.
The salesperson.
And I had to work at creating a mind shift change for myself on how do I see this to be impactful. And I realized that when I share with people my experience, when I share with people insight, and I'm not out there to, make that sales deal and be forced because I got to get the numbers. But I'm just sharing from my passion and I'm sharing from my heart. It is also sales.
Yes, it is.
And that is exactly what we need to do to be able to practice our business. And if you say you are not a business, you don't have a business, then I want to tell you, you are your own business. Because as long as you have to sell yourself, even if you are working for an employer, as long as you have to sell yourself to them, you are a business because they need to pay you for the sales and services that you are providing them, whatever it is you are doing that you're getting your monthly salary for. So each person needs to look at themselves as two things. You are a leader and you are a business person. So equip yourself for it. And so if you're going to equip yourself for it, learn how to share the passion of Toastmasters with others. And as a result of their inquiries, invite them. So that it's your skill that you're building. Thank you. And what do you have next for us, dearest Liza?
Just to add on what you were saying, a testimony that one of my area directors gave me yesterday. She posted a story about her journey on her Facebook page. And she just called me to say, I'm trying to help this new member who saw my story and they now want to join. So your story, she wasn't selling anything. She just shared her story. And then she got somebody who wanted to join. And right now, the person is a member after just reading her story and about her journey. So excellent. The story, your story really touches others, and it's important to share it. If Toastmasters has done something to you or for you, share with others, and you never know who's listening and what they're looking for. Maybe exactly that is what they're looking for. Now, what do we do to follow up? We've got the leads, Granny B. We've got the leads from TI. We've got the leads from Facebook, the leads from the people that come to our meetings, those that register and don't make it, some make it, but we've got a whole list of leads. We have 20 leads, for example. What do we do? What I found to work, Granny B, is making a call. A call makes a whole lot of difference. It gives you that connection and gets you to give the person the information that they need. Having those call parties, those dial parties is critical, because just sending somebody a message, they might just read and they're busy and they let it go. So I feel making those calls is critical. How do we make the calls? Are we just doing it randomly? What are we doing? I would recommend that we do a Google sheet, a live sheet, because I can't work alone. I can't follow up the 20 leads on my own. Ideally, let me have a team. If I'm a VPM, let me have a membership building team in my club, 2 or 3 people to help me follow up the leads. So when we have a Google sheet, we agree. I work from the bottom, you work from the top, and we give our responses there. Everybody sees what's happening. So even if I fall away for some reason, somebody else can just pick it up and continue the conversation and carry it on. It doesn't feel good, somebody calling me saying that, I saw you were interested in our club, whatever it is, and somebody calls me again with the same kind of statement. It shows some kind of inconsistency in how we're doing our things as a club. So it is critical that we have that sheet that we update regularly. I suggest every month. Yes,
sorry
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you there, but in fact, I totally agree with you on that sheet. And in fact, what I have for our clubs is I create one Google sheet and I have a tab for all the Zoom registrations. And every week I just go and copy and paste and add it on to that.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Facebook ones. I add, so I have a tab for Facebook ones. I have a tab for the in-person ones that we have, those where people register online. And what we normally do is, if we do not have the capacity to have the dialing party that we can all be in the same place, what I do is, what I share with them is the last column. If I plan to do the next 10 people, I go type my name down for each 10 people. Then I contact them. We just send them first a WhatsApp and say, hi, I see you did this or that, or however they contacted with us. I'm making myself available for the next 2 hours to be able to give you information. Please let me know when I can call you. And we kind of do that kind of that message to each one of the 10 of them. And then most of them will come back and say, you can call me now, or other ones will say, call me in an hour or something like that. And then they know who you are. And it's not a strange number that's calling them. They don't know what's going on. And they are quite happy to receive the calls. And then, so I leave my name there. And then straight after that, I type what was the responses from that. And that way, we also see who spoke to who about what and what the outcome was as well. I love what you're sharing. It is so critical for, I've always said every leader needs to be an administrator. And Liza, I don't like administration.
But you can't run away from the paperwork. No work is done until the paperwork is done.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you want to rise up to be an amazing leader, you've got to be an amazing administrator too. It doesn't mean you have to do administration all the time, but you need to understand administration. Okay, I'm listening. What do you have next on your sleeve, up your sleeve for us?
All right. So we have a system. Now we have a system of following up. We need to maintain the follow-ups. So when somebody says, I'll be ready at the end of the month, don't forget about them at the end of the month, because they'll be ready and they're still waiting for you to come and say, are you ready now? Let's move on with the journey. I found that consistent follow-up really makes sure that you close the deals. I had an experience with my first club that I chartered. The first club I sponsored, I had a list of over 150 leads that I was following up. And at the end of the day, I had the 20 that I needed, but soon after chartering, I had the other 10 that joined in again, because I kept following them up to say, you said you were ready. you are going to be ready by this time. And are you not? The challenge that we're having is that when you speak to somebody once, you then just let it go. You need to have that constant follow-up system. Set aside a day, a week to say, today, this afternoon, I'm just following up my leads. As a club, I don't think there'll be that many. There will be 4 or 5 that you might just want to say, how are we doing? How far are you? Are you attending our next meeting? Depending on where you left off the conversation, so that they know that you're still there and you still want them to start their journey. The reason why they reach out to us is they don't have that confidence level that we now have. So they will need a bit of encouragement to get on board. It's not everybody that'll just jump on board, but some will just take a bit of hand holding to get them to where they need to be. Now we have those 4 membership building campaigns that we have as Toastmasters. And I know people will think there are 3, but there are 4. Hey, Granny B, you agree?
Go for it. Tell them. Okay, let's rephrase them. Let's rephrase it. True.
Okay.
There are 3 official Toastmasters ones. That's true. But now, help them understand why we talk about
the 4. Okay, they're the club ones, the ones that you do as a club to say, we're going to do, right now we are in a season of beating the clock. So we are running with the Beat the Clock campaign, where we need to add 5 new reinstated or dual members to our club and get recognition for that. We have the Talk Up Toastmasters, we have the Smedley campaign, similar setup, but different times. But we also have that membership building campaign for me as an individual. I forgot to put my pins. I've got those pins, those 5-member pins, 10-member pins. Now I've lost count. I think I'm almost 100-member sponsored pins, where you get...
Just have a bit of a party here and celebrate that. Because hold on. This is critical. People don't understand where those sponsor pins come from. They don't understand how that works. Please remember to talk about that, because that is amazing. Go for it.
So what happens is, as a Toastmaster, when I talk to somebody, saying right now I'm talking to people to join Toastmasters, and I've managed to convince them to become a member, I get recognized for that. So most members do not know how this works. So in the application form, where the new member fills in, there's a section where it says sponsor. It's not talking about you paying their money for them. No, it's talking about the fact that you've managed to convince them to become a member of Toastmasters. So you get recognition for that. So remember, every time you invite a friend, remember to get them to put your name and your member number on that form, so that you get that recognition. So when you get to 5 members sponsored, Toastmasters International gives you a pin to say, well done, you've sponsored 5 members in this Toastmasters year. So you get recognized every Toastmasters year. Yes, Granny B.
And I want to just add, we're talking about, on the form, there is a part that says sponsor, where you can type the sponsor in. And if it wasn't like that and it was sent to you and you are the person, you are now the sponsor, but you are also the VPM of a club, then remember to make sure that when you upload the form on Toastmasters International, it asks who's the sponsor, that you are sure to add your name in as a sponsor there.
Perfect. And you get that recognition, and it feels good. I tell you, you then get to stand in the Hall of Fame. There's a year I stood in the Hall of Fame as one of the highest sponsors in the district. It really feels good. And, you know, just the fact that you're getting people on this amazing journey, getting them to improve themselves, getting them to experience Toastmasters the way you've been experiencing it, is just a reward on its own. And then the cherry on top is the recognition. So there we are, Granny B. That's all I had to share today. I feel if we do this, we take a look at how we're getting our leads, and when we do get them, we really follow them up. Our clubs won't starve of members. We will have so many members. We want to start new clubs because we have so many members at our clubs. So that's it from me, Granny B.
Thank you so much, Liza, for all these amazing, valuable nuggets. And I want to just close off by saying to anybody watching this, remember, we are here at Toastmasters not to become professional Toastmasters, but we are here at Toastmasters to grow ourselves and our profession. Make sure whatever you do for Toastmasters, that you can connect it with a skill that you are developing for yourself. And today, our skill development is that of when you become a salesperson. These are what you need, whether you are doing it for another company so that you can become the top salesperson, whether you are doing it for your own business, and whether you are doing it even if you are working for an employer, but marketing yourself. You have to market yourself to let them see the value in you and learn how to have those conversations. Share your story. Learn how to share your story. Liza, thank you so much for the value you added today. And with that, I want to say to everyone, make sure you follow up, get those leads, and grow your potential. Thank you, and bye-bye.